7th February 2022. Today is Monday. We are beginning a new week, and of course, I believe you're doing well. How are you faring? And how is your family? How is work? How is everything? If you're schooling, how is school? Well, there has been a lot going on with regards to UTAG and our educational system. Well, as of last week, we've been told that they've been asked to go back to the table and still have some negotiations with the ministry, the service, and all other stakeholders who needs to make some decisions, firm decisions, to get teachers going back into the schools. That pushed aside, e-levy is still on the mouths of people, and it looks like the strategists, the analysts, and all who have the intelligence when it comes to economy, when it comes to finances and others, are even advising that IMF will save Ghana because we are broke. B-R-O-K-E, broke. Broke is the word. And it looks like the government is not ready to go back to the IMF. And last week I was discussing with Julia, I told you that, well, if they tell me going back to the IMF they can't employ, from where I sit, they are not employing already. And so, what is the difference? If the key thing that is worrying them, the key worry for them is going back and not getting people to be employed, then I think that there's no key thing at all because they are not even employing. And so that is also there. Now, there has been some other issues with regards to Ghana being broke, where the National Communications Officer, Sami Jemfi, for the NDC, has also mentioned that the borrowing, the excessive borrowing of this current government is what has caused Ghana's brokenness. Let's see how that goes as well. We'll be discussing these and some others as well. But something got my attention for some days now. The issue with regards to Captain Smart and then the national security and some other things as well. Well, I've been listening to it, and it looks like though we are termed as the fourth estate, but I'm not sure we even have that power at all. The president is able to send messages across, speaks about the media, how he wants the media to react or behave. But it looks like that, I don't know, it's a cliche, but I have the Kaswa, it's not Kaswa Van Damme. I have Kaswa Shakespeare with me. Maybe he'll give me the right word for it. Today is Monday. I welcome you officially to AM Ghana Show right here on Adwa TV. Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook, Adwa TV Ghana, YouTube, Adwa TV GH. Let me welcome my brother and let's see what he has for us from Kaswa.
Now, dear, I'm your brother. Hey. Zoning
No,
with you.
I'm not zoning. I'm
It's
not
serious.
zoning.
It's serious. I sat here, from the time we got in, and I've been watching this fine lady in green. I'm like, hey, one Benny. It's too late.
It sends my mind back to some years ago where you picked me from home,
Of course,
just in front of my gate,
of course.
and then we'll come together at dawn.
Those were the times I should have capitalized and looked sharp, but.
Because my father was your
yeah,
fan,
my very good friend. Yeah, he still is my fan. A very good morning to Father Badu, wherever you are this morning. Certainly, you are tuned in to the most entertaining and informing morning show on television. This is AM Ghana, and my name is Reginald Daddy. Of course, Anastasia Badu has taken you through what we expected to discuss this morning. Let me tell you that February is the month of love, and Sonotech is giving you up to 20% discounts on all these services, calling it the month of love. And of course, when you're healthy, then you're wealthy. And if you're wealthy, like I said, and then you move like that. So yes, visit any of Sonotech's branches. Yeah, you can locate them in Osu, strategically placed as if you want to call it the central part of Accra. They also have a branch in Tema, that's to the eastern part of Accra, and in my very own area. By the way, I don't live in Kaswa, Anastasia. I live in Wager, where we have the West Hills Mall. Okay, the largest mall in Ghana, West Hills Mall. Should I repeat?
No.
Okay.
Do you people also take sheep and go to other things to see the place?
That's a new trend. Anyway, so Sonotech is also the latest branch, of course, in West Hills Mall. So they have an array of services that I mean, if you want to go to a lab, I think that you should choose a Sonotech, especially in this month of February. Who doesn't like discounts? Who doesn't like freebies? Go there, look sharp. You and your partner get involved. Now, this month of love has come with a lot of calls and a lot of warning signs. I don't know what your warning sign is, but we have something to tell you this morning, and it's all captured in our motivational quote for this morning here on AM Ghana. Anastasia, if you're ready,
Yeah.
take us through. If not, I'll quickly take us through
Alrighty.
on that one. It
So,
speaks about Monday
okay.
mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, Mondays always set a tune for how your day is going to be, and if the day goes well, then I bet you that the week is also going to follow suit.
Mm.
I want to hear this one from Anas because I like to hear her read.
Anyway, sure, we'll quickly go on that. But you know, there's something about Monday, and there's something about Friday.
Mm.
Unless you don't experience it. But there's something about Monday,
Yes.
and there's something about Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after the quotes, we will look at what really is there
Mo-
so unique about Monday and also Friday, that and also Sunday evenings, from late afternoon going through to Sunday evening. There's this feeling you feel like you are sick. It's some way.
That's when you start singing "The Day Is Bright."
It's bright everywhere. So quickly, the motivation quote for today, Monday, it says that your Monday morning thoughts sets the tone for your whole week. Is that true? See yourself getting stronger and living a fulfilling, happier, and healthier life. There are some words there that are very strong. Well, they may seem or sound like words that we use normally, we use all the time, but they are very strong words in there. And what are the words I'm talking about? I'm talking about stronger. So strong. We have fulfilling. We have happier, and then healthier. Reginald spoke about a healthy person, and when you're giving love, you should be healthy to be able to give love.
Yeah.
If you are not healthy, you never appreciate love.
If you are not healthy, you take love rather. You don't emit love.
You
because,
know.
yeah, all the concern and all the attention
You
comes
can't.
to you. When you are healthy, you give love.
You appreciate it, and you know why you have to even give it, and so you will give it. And looking at these words, they say something that happiness comes from within. If you don't have it, see, if I don't have happiness, I can't extend it to Reginald. Just Saturday, we were discussing something with some group of friends of mine, and they said, someone mentioned that, when we come for rehearsals and I see people smiling, I get so happy. And I said, well, if only it is coming from a happy place. You may see the person smiling with the teeth out and everything. Doesn't mean the person is happy.
Of course.
Happiness is within. You should find it yourself. Find it within you. Then you'll be able to appreciate it when someone is happy. And also clap for the person or cheer the person on. But if you don't have it, if Reginald is happy, you will not appreciate it. And so anything that Reginald does, it will just put you off.
Of course.
And it's one thing that can also degrade your healthiness. It will just bring you down. You will not be healthy. You will just be there. You feel like there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You are bitter. You are not happy.
It's the ashomu.
Also, I know also. It will become big,
Or
and it will
trying to
take the
witness.
exactly. It will take the bigger part of you. So maybe we'll have to still go through again. If you didn't hear me at all, maybe this is the time for you to pay keen attention to it. It says your Monday morning thoughts set the tone for your whole week. See yourself getting stronger and living a fulfilling, happier, and healthy life. Thank you very much from our producers. This is for today, Monday, 7th February 2022. I was speaking about the thing with Monday mornings, and I think this is so true. That you wake up very early in the morning for Monday. You know what you are doing for the week. Monday gives you the opportunity to align what you want to do and achieve in the week.
Yeah.
If Monday doesn't come, I'm not sure you want to see Tuesday and all the other days that are following.
Of course. So for many people, Mondays seem to be a difficult day coming. Not to
Very.
come by, but coming. To come by, it's like Monday comes by chance. It doesn't come by chance. It's there. It's conk. Unless you don't wake up to the light of the day. But Monday is always conk. When you go enjoying. Now, people find it difficult waking up on Mondays, and this is it. The reason is because they don't have a planned day. They don't have a routine for the day. And if you don't plan, everything seems to, just go haywire. Everything is just
Messy.
scattered across your table. And so, in order to enjoy your Mondays, what I'd advise is that Sundays, at least before you sleep, try and iron. Try and iron. Tomorrow is never promised. But at least when you iron and you prepare for the next day, you've tackled a greater percentage of your Monday. Now, when you wake up, spend about 5 seconds thinking of your next step. 5 seconds thinking of your next step. So before you get out of bed into your bathroom, think about those steps. What are you going to do first in the bathroom? Are you going to sit on the WC for a while? Are you going straight to pick up your toothbrush and paste? Are you going straight into the bathhouse? For me, I like to go. I like to dash straight into the bathroom. Now the reason is because I don't want to give myself the time or the gap to think whether to use hot water or cold water. So when I pack straight, I don't even want to give myself a chance to tap my snooze on the phone. So once it starts beeping, the moment between stretching my arms and ending the alarm, I'm planning my next step, and the next step is go straight
Which is
into the
into the
bath.
bathroom.
So after you wash down and you become conscious, then the other things
Will
follow.
follow.
I've already ironed, so that shouldn't be a problem. Once I get out of the bathroom, I'm done. And then now, when you get into the bus towards your offices, start planning your day. Start planning your day. What are you going to do? And always enlist the things, the activities that you hope to do. And once you are done with one, just cross it
Cross them.
out and cross it out. And then you'll be able to assess at the end of the day what you've been able to achieve.
Yeah.
Let me remind you also that your most productive hours in a day, your most productive hours in a day are from between the hours of 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. After these times, everything that comes will be a distraction. Your colleagues might have been done with some of their works, then the conversation starts, distractions, you go for lunch, other things start. So be productive, don't procrastinate between these times, 6 to 11 a.m. Ensure that you start something and finish something. This is just a way to make your Monday beautiful. I mean, just a bit for my part. Anastasia Badu has more. Before we do that one, you have
The word of the day.
Yes, you have a word for us. Me, I'm not going to do that.
You do it. So,
Okay.
because it's Monday, the words come every day, and yesterday's word will do well too. So that's what we have promised to do for you. That every Monday will bring you two words. That is Sunday's word, and then Monday's word as well. So Reginald is going to do that for us, and you get to know why he doesn't want to do the word for the day, but he will do it.
I'm not going to discuss. But interesting word for today. Lugubrious. Lugubrious. For a moment, I wanted to mention it as lugubrious, but the phonetics has been well
Spelled out.
Yes, spelled out here. It's lugubrious. Lugubrious. And what does lugubrious mean? Well, it means mournful or dismal. So yesterday, a particular country lost to another country, and their mood was just lugubrious. Lugubrious, master. It's it's unfortunate, but hey, AFCON ended, and we are giving you a word that can best describe what happened or the mood of our Egyptian brothers yesterday. It was quite lugubrious on their side, and the mood at the park was also lugubrious for the Egyptian side. And find me another word for cheerful, so that I'll compare the two. It can also mean very sad in an exaggerated or insincere way. So this is lugubrious for you. Now let's check out some examples or manners in which lugubrious has been used. The lugubrious musical passages made audience members teary-eyed. Another one, the actor is well known for her lugubrious facial expressions and mannerisms. I don't know. Do you have an idea of any Ghanaian actor who is almost always lugubrious? Well, give me the names, or you can send them to our Facebook platform where we're streaming it live. We'll check them out and read them out for you. Another example is here. Would Steve Spielberg's notoriously ill-received 1941 have worked as a musical? Maybe not. Well, this is a long one. It's just up there on your screen. Let's get the import of it. Lugubrious. 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 Now, let me just quickly give you one more word of the day. This one we use it more often. When we talk about word of the day, I'm more concerned about those day-to-day words that we use that we may not have paid attention to. I remember that there's been this word on my mind: anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. And I mean, we've used anxiety, but I've never looked it up. And lo and behold, when I looked it up, it really didn't mean
What we tend
what
to be.
I thought it was. And my very good friend Michael Donko would say, You say the shoe is 5,000. It's ambiguous. Now, his understanding of ambiguous is that there is big in there, so the price is big. So it's ambiguous. Ambiguous price. Sir, next year. You, you would never know. Now, let's take this word, admonish. What is admonish? Admonish means to express warning or disapproval to someone, especially in a gentle or earnest manner. To express warning or disapproval to someone, especially in a gentle or earnest manner. So here is an example. The reporter was admonished by the senator after he interrupted her a second time. So admonish is more of a warning or disapproval to someone in a gentle or earnest manner. Now we tend to use admonish as a way of saying to advise or to appeal.
Appeal.
But admonish this morning we are learning is an expression of warning or disapproval. Expression or warning. So let's get that one clear. It's not a synonym for advice, but rather caution, if you want to put it that way. So this morning, two words for you is a bonus. Admonish is a bonus. Word of the day: lugubrious, mournful, or sad. Sometimes that would portrayed in a way that would seem exaggerated. But when I compare it to yesterday's happening, far as AFCON is concerned, the mood of our Egyptian brothers was a rather lugubrious mood, and admonish as you have it as well. Well, let's not ado any further. We're here to give you information, of course, and we will get into the newspaper headlines. Let's take a quick time. Right back.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
You're welcome back from the break to the newspaper headlines. Well, quickly we'll go into that, and then when we are done with that, we'll see some topical issues in the papers. But what's your take is also somewhere around the corner. We'll do quickly with the newspapers, and then we'll touch on that. Then we'll get ready for our political discussions. And so quickly to start with, we'll do with the daily graphic. And this morning, well, it tells you how packed the morning is and how packed we have a lot of stories in here in this newspaper. So you should visit any newsstands and grab a copy. Or there's a popular toll booth I normally see going upwards towards the eastern region or up the hill from Ayimens and going. I think I can see something like that here. What are they saying? And exactly the OEB toll booth. Remove all toll booths. Danger to motorists. NRSA engineers tell ministry. And this is very true. I used the one down the Ashaman overhead somewhere in January 15th. And I tell you, it's very scary. It becomes a place for robbers to reside. It becomes a place for dangerous people to reside and attack anybody at any time, because that particular toll booth has trucks, huge trucks loaded with items, packed almost at every side of the road, just from the toll booth onwards, getting onto the Temamoto way. It is very scary. And so if something is even happening to you, no one is coming to your rescue, because it's a very busy road. No one is passing by. There's nobody there to even, because it's a one way. You know how it is. It's going that way, and then the other side rather comes in. So there's no one going to come to your aid when it happens. And so I'm very happy to see this in the newspaper today. In fact, this morning, speaking about it. By then I was not on the show yet, so I couldn't raise that up. But it's a very good one that it's here. And it says the Ministry of Roads and Highways has come under pressure to demolish all the 38 toll booths across the country, which are not in use to prevent accidents and optimize road safety. Yes, the National Road Safety Authority and the Consulting Engineers Association have called on the ministry to remove the toll booths once it has no use. Continuation is on page 3. Well, page 16 says that President tasked AU to reform global financial structure. Now, page 16 is again saying that government implements 6 tax relief measures. And also page 20, driver convicted of spilling concrete on road. At the back page it says, Mani inspires Senegal to first African title, lugubrious Egyptians. And Black Princesses stamp Uganda 5-0. And that's it. There are some more stories in the Daily Graphic.
Well, now let's take a quick turn into a lot of stories on the front page, but let me give you a picture of the cartoon in here. The traveler's itinerary, and we have a caricature of someone that looks like, I don't know. I mean, this is relative, but to me, the cartoon looks similar to an image of the speaker, and it says, to whom it may concern, January 22, Chambers 2 days 3 hours, Dubai 27 days. February 22, Dubai 30 days has September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31 except February alone. Chambers E Kwani. It's an interesting one. So this image has the person or the caricature in the image is seen in a swimming pool. He has a tattoo of an umbrella. He has a tattoo of number 3 on his right shoulder. He has a star on his chest, and he's jamming to Bob Marley. Wow.
Redemption song.
I think the song itself is jamming by Bob Marley, rather.
Oh, okay.
And he's seen in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a very plush area.
Well,
something that appears to be. Anyway, the import of it is that there's pressure on Speaker Alban Bagbin to resign. Now, this is a call made from former CPP Acting General Secretary James Kwabena Bonfe Jr., aka Kabila. He says that the Speaker should resign. If you want to know why he says that, grab a copy of the Daily Guide, read into it. Bawumia launches e-travel card.
Aye.
Bosu!
Now Bawumia, now digitalization.
Bosu! Well, Bawumia launches e-travel card. The headline, in fact, this whole matter just startles me. I know that at a point we would have to go. I mean, all public workers would have to go and queue up again after registering for this card, just to migrate information from this card onto the Ghana Card platform, and then it's going to be a whole thing by itself. So right now, how many cards do we have?
And all will be useless because you know, when you're registering for the Ghana Card, they ask you the other cards or other information on the different cards you have.
Yeah.
You want to
migrate.
So some people migrated their national health info. Others also did their SNIT. Others did their all other cards as well. And so it's just going to get it packed. And well, it's not the only thing that's nice about it is that it's not going to make our purses too heavy and hefty anymore.
Well,
it'll be the
but once you lose a card, you've lost a lot.
Exactly.
Well, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on some digitalization there. University of Education, when you assess advocates return. The story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. Now, the page 6 again. Appeals Court okays Mary Coleman Payto's trial. Mary Coleman Payto. How is she related to Honorable de Graft Payto? Anyways. Stories on page 3, on page 6. Another story on page 3, which I took you through. Pressure mounts on speaker to resign. Now, sad story on page 6 again. Car kills KNUST student. The big one here. Fired. Tardy MC speaks out. Fired Tardy MC speaks out. And the story is continued on page 3 from the front page of the newspaper now. Back page has some sports, of course. Houghton is New Stars coach Otoado and Tanko as assistants. Another one here, Game Boy set for WBO mandatory eliminator. You can find details of this story as well on www.adwanewsonline.com. Hearts and Kotoko clash in Cameroon. Cameroon grab AFCON bronze after dramatic comeback. And we call that a sound for the daily guide. Other stories in there. Grab a copy.
And so what's trending on the front page of the New Crusading Guide? It says, Avoke heads UEW again. Council says no appeal against court order. Now, Occupy Ghana issues 7 days ultimatum to AG, Attorney General. And also speak up against driver misbehavior. And on some other stories on page 10, it says, Amomole chief poised for developmental projects. Now, pages 3 and 10 also has got the story. Public officials get e-travel card for cashless disbursement of travel allowance payments for local and foreign trips. Now, Baumia Napo ticket sending shivers down the spine of NDC. This is coming from Atubiga. And the back page has got, okay, so the penultimate page is on sports. Liverpool reached 5th round of the FA Cup, and also GPL match report. Suleiman Tai's Hearts debut ends in defeat to Olympics. Cameroon come from behind to claim AFCON bronze. And that's Sam said for the New Crusading Guide. Well, I spoke about something last week, Friday. Yes, either Friday or Wednesday, about GRA sending in some releases to the banks with regards to e-levy ahead of its passage in Parliament. Let's see how that goes. Well, it's got details here in today's edition of the New Crusading Guide. If you're interested, you should grab a copy.
Well, let's look at the Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper. VIP launches e-travel cards to control expenditure. Okay, so after this one, I hope that we don't.
But why are you laughing about this particular story?
You see, I don't know how to express my joy. I say happiness comes from within, and I hope that you find reason to tap into my happiness. I am happy. I am happy. I am just happy because I mean more digitalization for the boys. Yeah. Now let's look at page 18. What's there? The government presents 500,000 Ghana cedis compensation to families of victims of Ejura shooting. 500,000 cedis. Is it each or to be spread amongst them? Grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times, read into it. UEW undertakes to reinstate Professor Avoke. The story is on page 17. Now, the big story here on page 16. Details there. The S&P Global rates Ghana positively. It says that Ghana's growth prospects look bright, but Moody's disagrees. Moody's disagrees. We have a picture of the fine gentleman who controls our finances, who signs the checks for Ghana, and also goes on the borrowing expenditures for Ghana. kind of where we are on the front page. Now let's look at the back page of the Guinean Times. They call it the GT Sports. Olympics stun has in Gamashi Derby. Another one here. Cameroon crack back to snatch third place. Fortunately, they couldn't host and win, but they won the bronze medals for the country, and that's it for the Guinean Times.
Now, the Chronicle newspaper says Akufo-Addo praised G20 to release $100 billion to Africa. And also on some other stories, I think that's the most trending one. And that's what should take this morning on AM Ghana show. Says suspended MCE tells court, I'm not guilty, Your Honor. I am convinced in the fullness of time the real truth surrounding that unfortunate incident will prevail, he says in a statement issued after court proceedings. And you should find details of that on pages 2 and 3 of the Chronicle newspaper. Now, there's also a photograph of the police. Okay, so police react to suspended MCE picture, and police condemn use of unrelated picture of Sekondi Takoradi MCE. 5th February. This was on Friday. Public Affairs Directorate, Police Headquarters, and press release. So the attention of the Ghana Police Service has been drawn to a library photograph circulating in the Ghanaian media in which a person depicted as a suspended MCE for Sekondi Takoradi Municipal Assembly is seen bare-chested sitting around a collection of items. The police wish to put on record that the photograph in question, which was featured prominently on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper on Friday, February 4, 2022, had nothing whatsoever to do with the police. It was not taken by the police, was not taken at any police station, and certainly could not have been put in circulation by the police. Now, the policy adopted recently by the police administration is not to publish the images of suspects under investigation in our custody. Now, the fourth thing is that we wish to condemn the practice of people taking unrelated pictures of events and using them to create misleading impressions to the public. And also it went on to say that such sensational acts would seek to cast a slur on the dignity of the person involved and also bring the name of the Ghana Police Service into disrepute should not be encouraged. Meanwhile, the Police Professional Standard Bureau has been tasked to ensure that in line with international best practice, due process was followed in the investigation and prosecution of this case, just as is expected in all other cases. Superintendent Alexander Kweku Obeng, a very good friend, Director Public Affairs, and he has sent in, so of course maybe, I don't know if you chance on it, but this last Friday, that was a picture with a very big stomach, excuse me to say, very bare-chested, so much hair, big stomach, sitting.
Big stomach with a lot of hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
On the chest, and it wasn't.
That wasn't the
no.
Sekondi Takoradi MC.
And they are saying that picture in particular was not released by the police, and they didn't even take it in any police station. And from where he was sitting, you could see that it wasn't the police station well, but you cannot tell. Some police stations are not really in good shape, so you can always not really liken them to any other place. But well, the police is condemning that act, and so maybe if you are publishing any stories, this is to the media houses as well. If you're publishing any story, you're not having any favorable picture of whoever the person is, I'm sure finding a very nice picture of the person will rather help than putting up such absurd pictures. Like the police is cautioning, of course, make sure your head is not getting on the platter. And the Chronicle Sports also has got a lot of stories which we've already gone through in all the other papers. But the quotation for the day is from Mark chapter 14, verse 30. It says, Jesus said to him, most certainly I tell you that you today, even this night, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. This is me telling Reginald. And that's it for the Chronicle newspaper.
I don't know how to defend it because I remember everybody doubted that this was ever going to happen. But one guy be. He's a chuka, that guy. I don't want to talk about him. Now let's look at the Daily Statesman. 230 million euros to construct 3.0 kilometer Fram River Bridge. And I think that this project, when it's done, is really going to help. It's also going to serve as one of those national monuments like the Adomi Bridge. Now the big story here on page 2. More systems to protect public purse. This is what amuses me. Baumia launches e-travel card for public officials. I don't know how this is going to protect any public purse whatsoever. Audit report on government landed property out. Kufuado wants AU financial institutions strengthened. Stories on page 2. Wayne Rooney, about him. I would actually lock myself away and just drink. Okay. That's how I like to drink. Cameroon fights back from 3-0 down to beat Burkina Faso on penalties to finish third. And that's it for the Daily Statesman and for the newspaper headlines. Now, interesting one here is about the fight Takrady MC, who is said to have spoken out. Let me quickly do a quick read. We're just about to share our thoughts on what we think about the firing of the MC. Now, there's a rebuttal that the president could only appoint, and that after the assembly, after two-thirds of the assembly have voted the MCE, all other powers, as far as the MCE is concerned, especially when it comes to suspension, rest with the assembly and not the president. The president can, of course, terminate his appointment as an MCE, but cannot suspend. Now, we find this quite wavering and would look into it, will express our opinions on that. The embattled Metropolitan Chief Executive for Sekondi Takrady, Abdul Momin Issa, has broken his silence. His encounter with the police and subsequent suspension continues on page 3. This is page 3. Oh, it's a long one. Yes, a letter dated. Yes, we know. So what did he say? Local government chamber. President suspend. Oh, resisting arrest. Second charge. I don't know what he said. Okay. I have accordingly been informed of His Excellency the President's decision to suspend me from office as the MCE of Sekondi Takrady Metropolitan Assembly following the unfortunate incident that ensued between myself and a police officer. Okay. At a checkpoint close to the Takrady Cemetery on the night of Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. As I proceed on my on my suspension, I first wish to express my gratitude to the President for his fatherly love and opportunity to serve in his government. A section of the letter said. He also stated that I am convinced that in the fullness of time, the real truth surrounding the unfortunate incident will prevail. Well, I am convinced that in the fullness of time, the real truth surrounding the unfortunate incident will prevail. So he has spoken out, and I think that he has also accepted that there was an unfortunate incident. So I tend to wonder why he pleaded not guilty, but of course it is expected of most when they are put. I like the expression of the judge who presided over the matter. The judge said that he was surprised to see the MC in the box. Not that the MC is infallible, but for a person of that status to be there, he's quite disappointed. And he says that any person who tries to prevent a police officer from embarking on their lawful duty is an enemy to the state. Could this be the reason why the president suspended the MC? I mean, couldn't he hold and conduct himself as an MC whilst investigations were still ongoing with this matter? Why the haste to suspend the MC even before the court pronounces him guilty after findings or not? Well, that is not to question the authority of the president. That is to indicate that the president is really indeed committed and serious about fighting, let me put it, corruption, because this is quite corrupt, to use your power to try to subdue a person who has been employed to maintain law and order, the police. But unfortunately, And even more disappointingly is that there are persons in the same administration who are embarking on serious crimes. Some have had reports coming out after investigations, so the president has done nothing, absolutely nothing about them. So I tend to want to think about the title and address I'm giving to the president this morning again. That is the president really committed to the fight against corruption in the country? Or perhaps the fight is limited to some specific people. And the fight related to, you know, a few people in the administration, are some people untouchable in the administration. Well, that's just for you to think about. But this morning we're casting our focus onto the powers of the president when it comes to suspension of MCEs. We understand that there's been a concern about that very authority. Personally, I think that if the president can appoint, then so can he disappoint. And so if he can disappoint, then I don't think that suspension is anywhere out
Of order.
of order. But then again, it brings the powers of the assembly to a query, to question, to perspective. If the president can so appoint, disappoint, and suspend as he wishes, who is the MMDC under? Is he under the presidency? Is he under the assembly? But then, of course, when you look at the hierarchy of things, the MMDCs are at the top of the assemblies. So if they are at the top, who puts them to check? So of course, you would leave that to the appointing authority to suspend. Perhaps there might be a caveat in there. I tried reading on the appointing powers of the presidency, and it doesn't really state about when the president can suspend. But of course, whoever appoints can definitely disappoint. And then there should be a balance between what bylaws reside within the assemblies and what laws govern the appointment of authorities, especially for municipal assemblies, district assemblies, and metropolitan as well. I think that there can be a bridge between the two, and when assembly members so feel that an MC or MMDC has so misconducted himself or gotten involved in a matter that warrants his suspension, they can, of course, by the 2/3, of votes to approve the appointment, go ahead to disapprove of an act whatsoever,
Exactly my
and
thought.
that would form a quorum, to make a decision on the.
I'm not
conduct
sure
of
from all indications. I'm not sure the president does that solely in the appointments, because the assembly is also in charge of certain things as far as the assembly is concerned, and well, they have powers in there who are to see to the daily and the daily running of the assembly as well. And so before the president even will appoint, they should be in tandem with the assembly heads and who has been put in check, or who has been put in authority to make sure that anything concerning the assembly is done properly. And so if there's any disappointment as well, I'm sure it's supposed to go through the same process. And we will have to link this to how party chairmen behave when you get to the constituencies and their chairpersons. The constituency is solely responsible for their constituency. But we realize that in some cases, you find party chairmen always residing on issues when it comes to the constituency. It is exactly what we are seeing. We are seeing here, and so maybe they will have to clearly state out the powers of these people for them to understand where yours and where each power ends, and where the other person's own also starts. Then when some of these, and like you said, I don't see why you just have to suspend the person without you finding out what the person's faults are.
That was unnecessarily hasty. I think that the matter is in the courts. But again, if the president wants to be proactive, there are cases that have been done with. Go back to those ones and deal with the prosecutions in there. Right? Let's go back to Ayawaso West Wogon. The recommendations by the committee, nothing done about it. There are people. The other, what is happening to them? The cases of corruption, the cases of ill practices when it comes to public procurement after having gone through all the queries whatsoever. What is being done about them? This one is still in the courts, and we won't wait for law and order to prevail. And we just wake up and suspend. I'm not saying, I'm not in any way endorsing the behavior of the MC as captured in the audio or circulating in the papers and the media, but I think that when one arm of government is working, we have what we call separation of powers. Let's try as much to respect those. I don't know what you think. Personally, I think that it was quite unnecessarily hasty, and we could have allowed the law courts to come out with their findings or their pronouncements before necessary action is taken, because until you are proven guilty, you are indeed innocent. That's my take. I don't know what else you think. I think we've exhausted our thoughts on this very matter. We have the newspaper review coming up in any time, so we'll be speaking on some specific matters from the newspapers as well as some other headlines.
Okay, but Reginald, I understand we have Dr. Frank Asari Donko, a governance consultant that we can speak to with regards to this particular
all right,
topic.
Dr. Frank Asari Donko, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, by God's grace, we are doing fine. And you?
By the same grace, we are also doing fine. And so, the president for the Chamber for Local Governance has described as illegal the president's suspension of the Sekondi Takoradi MC. As a governance expert yourself, what do you make of this? Do you agree that it is illegal?
Thank you very much. Did he tell what law or what provision makes the president's action illegal?
Well, there are quite some details in there, but I couldn't chance on any specific law that indicates that it is illegal. Perhaps he is he touched on the assembly's role in approving the appointed MC from the presidency, and as you know, the assembly, 2/3 of the assembly does that confirmation, and so after that, doesn't the power of suspending the MC reside with the assembly other than the president?
Okay, let's take it from this place. You know, the president also appoints ministers and deputy ministers.
Yes.
And when the president is going to appoint such people, after everything is done, the president submits the names of such appointees that he intends to appoint to Parliament. Parliament can accept or reject them. Once Parliament accepts them, they become ministers of state. When the president wants to dismiss a minister or deputy minister, he doesn't come back to Parliament to seek approval, even though Parliament was involved in the appointment.
Right.
The Constitution, in article, I think, I don't have my copy, but let me.
Well, let's just speak from the Constitution, and then later we'll find out.
I think in chapter 20 or so, chapter 20 talks about decentralization and the right of government.
Certainly.
It states how the chief executive of the district assembly is appointed with all the assembly members voting to test approving it. Okay. So there's nothing in chapter 20 or anywhere in the Constitution which says a chief executive, if he wants to be sacked by the president, he has to go back to the assembly. Okay. There are provisions where the chief executive can be removed by the assembly itself when he does something against can pass a vote of no confidence in him
Mm.
or her. Okay, and then the president can also sack. I'm sure the argument people are making is that the president did not sack but did suspend.
Mm.
Okay, yes. If I had the power to appoint you,
Mm.
and there's a case against you, and the impression or the right thing that we all know by rule of law is that even if you see me stealing,
Mm.
and then you take me to the police station, and take me to court,
Mm.
the fact that you saw the person stealing doesn't make him guilty until the court has pronounced judgment.
Mm.
That is the rule of law that we all apply
Mm.
to our governance system.
Mm.
So this DC is reported to have assaulted a police officer,
Mm.
and assault is a crime.
Mm.
Okay, so now the police arrest him. He is before court, assuming a minister of state was in the same situation and was had a case pending before court. Do you think that president will sit now, allow the minister to go to his or her office, and then go to court? But it will disturb the job that the minister will be doing.
Oh, I see.
So the right thing is to suspend. Suspend doesn't mean you either been sacked or you've been retained.
Hmm.
Suspension doesn't mean you have been sacked or you have been proven guilty. Because you have a case pending, you are
But
not have divided attention.
Mr. Sorry, don't call. Now this is where I find things a bit confusing. So you remember when, though it wasn't taken to court, there were issues where the Minister for Health was invited to Parliament to answer questions about the procurement breaches when it came to COVID-19 vaccines, the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines. Of course, these invitations and queries also disturbed or obstructed the work of the health minister. The president didn't do anything about it. He didn't suspend him. Why?
Was the minister charged in the court of law?
That's what I said. Yes, he was in charge, but of course, another.
He was just invited.
Mm,
So after invitation, the police, after talking to him, might see that, oh, there's no case to follow.
mm,
So nothing happens again.
okay.
If the case will follow, then the police will have to charge him.
Okay. Well, the local governance, the president for the Chamber of Local Governance also cited Article 2431 of the Constitution. It says that the president only gives, the article gives power to the president to only nominate. And you agree with me that after the nomination comes the approval from the assembly. Now, does the president continue to have a hand after the assembly has approved and taken hold of the MMDC?
You said Article 243
One.
allows the president, 2431,
Yes.
yes?
It allows the president to only nominate.
No, it seems whoever that person
Mm,
either hasn't read the article or doesn't know what they are talking about. The article says, Article 2431 says,
mm,
there shall be a district chief executive for every district
mm.
who shall be appointed by the president.
Okay.
Appointed by the president
Mm,
with the prior approval of not less than 2/3 majority of members of the assembly
mm,
and voting at the meeting.
Mm.
It shall be appointed. And so the appointing authority is the president. And then he also has equal authority to dismiss.
Well, Mr. Sorry, don't call. Now let's look at the alleged conduct of the MCA. Although he's been granted bail, do you think that this action would warrant his removal from office because of perhaps the misconduct that his act is associated with?
Look, the first one is that every DCE or MCE, whatever their titles are, they are the chairman of the district security committee.
Mm.
Okay? And the district security committee is made up of the head of the police in the respective districts. Okay? And then as the district security committee chairman, you are could be the last person to be suspected of assaulting a police officer.
Mm.
And assuming he even wasn't the chairman of the security committee, as the direct representative of the president, in terms of precedence, the district chief executive is the first gentleman of the district. Okay? So you have not any shame of causing that kind of behavior in public when we are all talking about indiscipline on the road by drivers, and you who should set a good example should rather say you should obey the law, and rather you are disobeying the law, you are breaking the law when there's a barrier, police barrier, and the police officers are checking drivers for whatever reason, you feel you are above the law. Okay? What I know is that the president, if he's on official duty and for protection and for timeliness, can go for a motorcade. Same with ministers and certain people. Even in the district, if a DC or MC is going to a place where his security is in danger, you can ask the local police, him or her, a dispatch rider, to make sure that everything is safe for him. But you cannot be driving around think that when we see you, we should all park our vehicles. When the police see you, you are knocking yourself on the road, driving dangerously, you should close your eyes. It's never done anywhere.
Right.
He's not aware alone.
Well, Mr. Frankie Asare Donkor, I think that you've touched on, Dr. Frankie Asare, I think you've touched on the very essential aspects. First, establishing the powers of the president in appointing, suspending, and also dismissal of MCEs, which we also spoke earlier about. We're grateful for your time this morning. We'll call you as and when so that you give us further insight in what may spring up as far as this matter is concerned. We are grateful.
Okay.
All right. So, Dr. Frankie Asare Donkor is a governance consultant. He's taken us through, and he also read out Article 2431, which the president of the Chamber for Local Governance cited to dispute or claim that the suspension of the MCE by the president is illegal. We've just been told that that does not form much basis. The president can appoint, so can he disappoint, and we established that earlier. We are grateful to Dr. Asare Donkor for the insight. He's a governance consultant. But we'll still have some more conversations coming up on AM Ghana, the newspaper review, to be conducted by my dear sister in green.
All right. So thanks to Dr. Asare Donkor on that education as well. We hope that you've also followed through. But we are still looking into it because this hasn't died already. It is still developing, and we'll be following through with it. And we'll get you the necessary conversations regarding this. And when it gets to the bottom, we'll also get you to the bottom of it. This is the AM Ghana show. My name is Anastasia Badu. I'm doing this with Reginald Adi. I nearly said Reginald Robertson anyway. But we brought you the newspapers. You can also visit our website for more news updates on www.advanewsonline.com. Thanks to Jonathan Amma coming your way with the morning news. We'll go on a quick turn. We'll return shortly, and the political discussion is next.
at Sonotech, we always pride ourselves of being a patient-centered facility, and so we always go the extra mile to put a smile on the faces of our patients. And we don't just wait for them to be unwell to come to us, but we always strive to ensure that our patients are always in good health. So the month of February is the month of love, and how best can we express our love than to give to our clients? So what we are doing this month of February is to give a 20% discount on all our health packages. Yes, all our health packages. So for our health packages, we have our life packages, and then we have the bronze, the silver, and then the gold packages. So if you walk in from the 1st February to the end of February, you get 20% discount on all our health packages. And we are introducing a very special package for couples as well. We realized that especially the premarital couples, sometimes because of the excitement of getting married and all that, we discuss everything and always forget about our health. So we've come together with a very nice health package for couples, and it's discounted at 30%. So that's the couples package, and we encourage our clients to take advantage of this special package as we go through the month of February. This is our way of saying that we love our clients. This is our way of giving back. This is our way of putting smiles on the faces of our clients. In addition to this, you can also walk in and pay for a loved one. I know 14th is Vows Day. As we think of giving gifts to our clients or to our friends, to our loved ones, let's consider buying a healthcare package at Sonotech for the ones that we love. And on 14th February, we promise all our clients to experience something very extraordinary at Sonotech. Once you come for any service with us, any of our branches, West Hills, Osu, and Tema, you will leave with a special gift. And you can trust us when we say you leave with a special gift. So we wish all of you the best. Let's enjoy the period of love. Let's enjoy the health packages that Sonotech has for us. And as we always say, we are your total healthcare partner for life.
Announcements on Adwa TV. Contact Adwa TV for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork Promises. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life.
Water, but you're not getting your mouth. And that's all I'm about to order.
Malaria and tea. You are yet more bono.
But you have to pick it.
Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo. I shouldn't a customer. When you say, Mammy, I am smart. I perceive Malakio. I'm money buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want to mean.
And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malagio. You didn't know. And now kick out bomb as soon as I CB Malagio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. And yet that shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for. About a woman for. Any quada won't in fear.
Susiana, what would you with
FD Ashesha sa ejedi enkra to imu agia to muse enye.